God is all-powerful, why didn't he destroy Satan immediately? Why let him continue influencing the world? Many struggle with this question, but the Bible provides answers. Today, we will explore why Satan still exists and what his fate will be. The truth may surprise you, and it reveals something profound about God's nature, justice, and plan for humanity. Stay until the end to understand God's ultimate purpose in allowing Satan's existence. Satan was once a powerful angel named Lucifer, created with beauty and wisdom. However, pride led to his downfall. Isaiah 14:12-15 describes how he wanted to exalt himself above God. His rebellion caused him to be cast out of heaven. Revelation 12:7-9 speaks of a great war where Satan and his angels were defeated. Instead of being destroyed, he was cast down to earth. Why would God allow this instead of ending his existence? One key reason is that Satan is a spiritual being. Unlike humans, spirits do not die naturally. In John 4:24, the Bible states that God is spirit, and spirits are not subject to physical death. This means that Satan cannot simply die like a mortal creature. Instead, his ultimate fate is reserved for God's final judgment. 2 Peter 2:4 and Jude 1:6 confirm that fallen angels are being kept for judgment at the appointed time, not immediately destroyed. God's justice requires a final and public judgment. If God had destroyed Satan immediately, it could have raised questions among angels and humans. Would God be truly just if he removed opposition without allowing the universe to see the consequences of rebellion? In the story of Job, we see that God permits Satan to test people's faith, but within limits. This shows that God is in control and allows trials for his greater purpose. Another reason Satan exists is that his actions serve a purpose in God's plan. Romans 8:28 reminds us that God works all things for good. Even when Satan acts against God's will, he unknowingly serves a divine purpose. The temptation of Jesus in Matthew 4:1-11 demonstrates how Satan's attempts at deception ultimately led to a greater revelation of Christ's power. Through resisting temptation, Jesus proved his worthiness to redeem humanity. God also allows Satan's existence to test and strengthen believers. In Job's story, Satan could only act within the limits God set. Job's trials refined his faith and ultimately led to greater blessings. Similarly, Christians today face spiritual battles. Ephesians 6:11 tells us to put on the full armor of God to resist the devil. Without challenges, faith would not grow. Overcoming trials builds perseverance, proving our trust in God. Free will is another crucial reason Satan was not immediately destroyed. God created both angels and humans with the ability to choose. Without free will, love and obedience would be meaningless. If God instantly removed all who disobey, then true freedom would not exist. Satan's rebellion serves as an example of what happens when a being rejects God. His influence allows humans to choose between good and evil, proving their loyalty. If God had eliminated Satan instantly, some angels and humans might have obeyed God out of fear rather than love. True faith comes from choice, not force. By allowing time to unfold, God demonstrates his patience and righteousness. 2 Peter 3:9 says God is patient, not wanting anyone to perish. He gives humanity opportunities to repent and follow him willingly. The presence of evil tests our hearts and strengthens our spiritual convictions. Although Satan is active now, his fate is sealed. Revelation 20:10 declares that he will be cast into the lake of fire for eternity. His temporary rule on earth will come to an end. God is not delaying out of weakness, but out of justice. Every act of rebellion will be accounted for. The battle between good and evil will be fully resolved. Until then, believers must remain vigilant, resisting the devil's schemes through prayer and faith. Many wonder why Satan still has power, but the Bible is clear. He only operates within limits. In Luke 22:31, Jesus tells Peter that Satan asked to test him, showing that the devil cannot act without God's permission. Even now Satan roams the earth seeking whom he may devour. 1 Peter 5:8. However, God gives his followers the strength to overcome temptation. Through Christ's victory, we can stand firm against the enemy's attacks. God's plan has always been about redemption. Even though Satan introduced sin, Jesus provided salvation. Colossians 2:15 states that Christ has already disarmed Satan's power. When Jesus died and rose again, he broke the chains of sin and death. Believers are no longer under the devil's authority. Though Satan still deceives many, those who follow Christ walk in the light. His days are numbered, and his final defeat is near. Understanding why God allows Satan to exist helps us grasp the bigger picture. God is not indifferent to evil. He is patient and working toward the ultimate resolution. The suffering caused by Satan is temporary, but God's justice is eternal. Revelation promises a future where there will be no more pain or evil. Until then, we must trust in God's timing and hold on to his promises. Satan's power is limited, but God's kingdom is everlasting. We live in a world where Satan's influence is strong, but God has given us everything we need to resist him. James 4:7 says, "Submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you." This verse reminds us that Satan has no real power over those who stand firm in their faith. He may tempt and deceive, but he cannot force anyone to follow him. By relying on God, we can overcome every scheme of the enemy. It is important to remember that God's ultimate goal is restoration. He is allowing history to unfold so that all can see the consequences of rebellion and the rewards of obedience. When Satan's time is up, there will be no doubt that God's justice is perfect. Until then, we must remain faithful, trust in his plan, and encourage others to seek the truth. The battle may seem long, but victory has already been secured through Christ. Satan's existence is a test, but we are not without help. The Bible equips us with wisdom to discern his deceptions. Ephesians 6:12 reminds us that our battle is spiritual, not physical. We must guard our hearts, stay rooted in prayer, and remain steadfast in our faith. God has given us the tools to resist the enemy. By staying close to him, we can stand firm and await the day when evil is finally destroyed forever. God's plan is unfolding, and Satan's time is running out. His fate is sealed, and his influence will not last forever. If this video helped you understand why God didn't destroy Satan immediately, like and subscribe for more biblical insights. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Why do you think God allowed Satan to exist? Stay strong in faith, and remember, the victory belongs to God. See you in the next video.